Finally, we've got Rubén Cánovas. Rubén is Global Head of Smart Cities at EVERIS. Rubén is an engineer with many years of experience in ICT projects and in the field of innovation, and have spent the last decade working with the public sector in cutting-edge projects with the government, focused on public sector customers dealing with digital transformation. Rubén, your turn.
Much, Victor. Thank you very much for being here. As Victor said, I worked for the last 10 years for local governments, basically. And in the last 8 years, I've been involved with many smart cities projects, okay? Basically in Europe and Latin America. And I want to share some, go back to the basics stuff about smart cities and what's the role, important role of data in all of this. Okay, I really enjoy the first conference in the morning, because they were talking about specific things, and I think that is the key about how is the smart cities and the data right now in the smart cities market. Okay, let's go for the specific things. Well, really briefly, if you don't know, EVERIS is a technology consultancy firm. We work as integrators and solutions for most of the big clients, okay, and also the public sector. And as I said, I'm gonna keep really basic, and I want to share some things about smart cities. This is not mine, unfortunately, but I think it's really descriptive. It's from Rick Robinson. He's an expert about cities and smart cities. He presented like 5 years ago, and there are many different approaches to smart cities, but let's talk about technology, okay? How can we help the cities using technology? And that's it, okay? If a smart city probably could be interpreted in different ways, but let's talk about technology. There are different technologies we see here, and we're talking about IoT. We talk about data, and we talk about, I really enjoy Mr. Garay's presentation, because he was also keeping to the basics. What's data? What we need, specific things, marketing, value, and so on. But there are many other. This is not a complete list. There are many others that we can use, really use as a mean and not as an end. And that could be another problem we identified for the last 8 years, no? Using the technology as a mean, okay? As a tool. And, well, this is supposed to be an animation. Forget about the red square in the middle. But if we talk about cities, traditionally speaking, a city was services and infrastructures. I'm not talking about technological infrastructures. I'm talking about roads, streets, buildings, and so on, okay? And those the public administration used to try, not being based on evidence, to deliver the service in the better way, you know? We think this is better in this way and this other. Or the infrastructures were built, well, in studies, but not really based in real-time data. But now, with the digital age, we have a layer in between the services and the infrastructure. And that's, I think, the key of this transformation. All right? That data and the role of data in smart cities help us to know what's going on in the city. If we need more infrastructures, how is the water? And we're talking about some projects related to water supply and so on, the transport, as Bruno said before, or also to measure, no? How is the public transportation used by the citizen and so on. And also to be informed, or to inform the citizen, sorry. And that's quite interesting, because with this comes some specific challenge. But I always say, data analytics or big data is not a magic trick. And it's not always necessary. We had to put some common sense and think about the use case and think about what we want to solve. Because what I call, I don't know if this works in English, but the Diogenes syndrome with data, that happens all the time. We're going to collect all the data. But what for? What's the problem we want to tackle? Okay, and just to highlight some specific issues that comes with the necessity to collect that data. We have been doing all these projects for a long time, and not even considering that could be like unexpected uses or data spills. I think a hacker said in a conference that he could take the control of all the traffic lights in a city in a couple of hours. If you do that, if you can do that, it's a mess. Imagine all green lights. It could be a mess. No? So we should consider that everything we create should be designed considering this privacy and security approach, okay? Using tools like, for example, the privacy program management, as I said, by design, okay? From the start, we think. I really like the slide that Bruno put there with all the data sets. I think it's a small piece, no, of data sets. Could be bigger and bigger and bigger, even bigger. Imagine if there is a small leak there and the information goes around, okay? And there are also things related with what data should I open and what not. We have sensible data, we have personal data. If we can cross different data to identify somebody, that's a problem. So we have also to take into account these issues. And just briefly, to wrap up what I wanted to say, what we try as a consultancy firm, as an integrator, is to tackle this kind of challenge from the end-to-end approach. What's the problem we're going to solve? How we're going to solve it? And use the technology in the steps that it makes sense, not starting from technology and then try to know how we're going to use it or if we're going to use it, okay? So I think I was quite fast, but I think it's better because we can interact, okay? So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rubén. Thank you very much.